Valorant has come a long way since it was released back in 2020. From agent special changes to complete map reworks, a lot has changed, but there are certain things the game is still lacking. And this is what I wanna talk about more in depth. So let's see 5 ideas that Riot Games could implement to make the game even more enjoyable. The first thing I would love to see in the game is a ban system. With the increased number of agents, it would be really cool if we could somehow get rid of a very unpleasant agent that we don't wanna face. It could work so that everyone would pick an agent to ban. If multiple players choose the same agent to ban, then that's the one the team would vote for. In case everyone votes for someone different, then the game itself bans one agent randomly out of the 5. The enemy would do the same, so 2 agents could be voted out each game by the 2 teams in total. This would also create very creative ideas where the team would have to adapt to a completely new environment. Just for an example, the map is Breeze and the team decides to ban Viper. The enemy will have to find a solution, which might be to play a different controller agent or come up with something unexpected. It could also slow down the annoyance that can come with an agent that might be just too buffed for the actual meta. How much I would have loved to ban Chamber back in the day when he was the most dominant agent by a country mile, or just to not have to worry about a lineup Larry on the enemy team. The second thing I wish to have in the game are more fun play modes. We did get some new game variants, but sliding around in Snowball Fight was absolute class. I am pretty sure they could come up with great ideas, or even just let the players do the brainstorming. Set up a comment section and just wait for the people to be creative. That would also help to ease the communication between the community and the developers. Valorant can just feel so dry sometimes because of the lack of options. Everything is centered around competitive, which makes sense, but to keep the casual community more entertained, it could benefit everyone. The more time players spend in the game, the more likely they are to spend money on skins. So there is no real downside to the idea either. Plus, if I am annoyed after a loss, it would be cool to chill out while still being in the game that I love. Now, this upcoming concept might not be so popular, but just hear me out. Having a ban system for maps. But I am not talking about how it works in CS, because that would just make us play the same 2-3 maps over and over again. But what if the game would offer 3 maps when we load into the lobby, and everyone could pick one? Similar to the agent ban system, the map with the most votes could be the map to play the game on. Obviously, here both teams would vote, so the 3 maps would have 10 votes split in between them. Once again, if there is a tie, the game would just pick one out of the 2 to make this process flow better. That also could help to understand which maps the community dislikes the most, so fixing them would be much easier too. The next element I would love to add to Valorant are better rank rewards. I am pretty sure I am talking for everyone when I say the rank rewards are absolutely dreadful. They should motivate us to play and grind. But they do neither, which is a huge unused opportunity by Riot Games. Everyone would spend much more time grinding if at the end of the act they could get a skin based off their rank. Higher you would end up, better your skin would look. The absolute top Radiant players at the end of the season could get a skin that is totally unique to show that they were top 10 at the end. It could have a little number on it or a special finisher, so if you would see that skin in game, you would know that they are truly one of a kind players. For beginner players, it would be a great motivation to get their first skin. We know they will end up spending more money anyway, but this could get them into the habit of wanting more skins, which would generate more revenue once again. There is no drawback to this, and the game desperately needs upgrades, as ranked is the main game mode in Valorant. And now the last idea that could change Valorant forever. We have seen that skins got increasingly more pricey as time went on. For younger players, this means that having a proper skin is almost impossible. But what if we could have a league-like system implemented? You would get a rating after each match, and if you did really well, could potentially open a box that could have some sweet rewards, bodies, player cards or even skins. But this in itself would be way too broken, and people would farm skins on a Smurf account just to sell them. The goal is to motivate the players, not to make it easy to scam the system. So when you would perform well, there would be a chance of you getting a skin shard from the box you open. Worse the skin, the fewer shards you would need to make the skin permanent. Getting skin shards would be random, so actually collecting 20 shards for a Reaver Phantom would be challenging but not impossible. It would give the player base a reason to grind in hopes of having enough shards for a skin. In League, this system went nuts and everyone seemed to love it. So why not try it in Valorant as well? If this system comes to Valorant, you will have to be a beast in the game to get the skins you wish for. And for that, getting better is a must, but you can improve easily by checking out this video.